Hey y'all, this is Lauren from Mama's Learning Corner. So glad you came back to my YouTube channel here today. Really appreciate that. If you're new here, I talk all things homeschool. Love homeschool, could talk about it all day long. Homeschool curriculum, planning, what it's like to school a bunch of kids. All the things. So today I'm talking to you about something that I'm not so fabulous at, which is how to buy homeschool curriculum cheaply. Let me preface this with saying, again, I'm not so good at this, but I do have a few resources that I will share with you today. So our clothing budget is like minimal. Most of our budget is for homeschool curriculum and food, which is just like way out of control with inflation, as I'm sure you all know, and are experiencing just like me. But the prices of things are just like through the roof. And that includes homeschool curriculum, because I understand that paper like has gone way up in price in terms of inflation. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you briefly the ways that I save money when I'm able to save money. But like I said, we have other line items in our budget that are minimal because they need to go to this homeschool. And that's because one issue is because I have 5 kids and it takes books and resources to school them all well. And so we see that as an important priority and put our money there. In today's video, I want to show you, or tell you rather, times that I buy new and then times that I buy used and why I choose those times. I school a lot of children. We have a lot of moving parts in terms of subjects and books and classes and all the things. And so I have to be really organized in our budget and spending my money very, very wisely, because I need to be a good steward of the money that we have set aside for homeschool, since it's such a large portion of our budget. But I'll tell you, we've been down the private school road for a little while, and nothing is as expensive as that. So when our homeschool budget is at the max, I still feel very thankful, because I've paid that private school tuition for a couple of years, and that was really hard. So I have to remind myself that there are more expensive things than the way we're schooling right now. And so that takes a little bit of the sting out of the price tag. So let me run through some ways that, reasons that I buy new and reasons that I buy used, and places that I find to buy used. But there are much savvier shoppers than me. I just don't have the time to be super savvy. So if you have really good ideas, or you've written a blog post about it, or recorded a video or whatever, feel free to leave that down below so other mothers can make a good decision about how they can use their own money as wisely as possible. So I buy a lot of things new, and I do that for a couple of reasons. One, I have a lot of kids. So if I buy it once, I can almost guarantee that it's going to be used again. There's only a few things that I haven't used again, just because learning styles are so different, or it just wasn't a great fit in the first place, and I kept it anyway. So I buy new a lot because I know that it's going to get used through 5 children, or at least 4. There's a big gap between my 4th and my 5th, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out yet, to be honest, in terms of curriculum choices. Another reason I buy new, I mentioned in another video, is that Memorial Press, for example, who we use a lot of curriculum from, they offer free downloads of particular pieces of their curriculum if you order directly from them. So if you choose to use the quizzes and tests from Memorial Press and you purchase the book, you also get a free download of those PDFs, but it's only if you purchase directly from them. So what's the big deal with that? Well, I can just find all the tests for the Iliad, and I can just go print, and then they're all printed, and I'm not having to print it page by page. Or I can find all the tests for, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I can just print them all at one time. That's very convenient and time saving. So that's another reason I choose to buy new. So there are things that I choose to buy used, and they are curriculum that I'm not sure about. if I'm not quite sure if it's going to be right for us or not, and it's new to me. You know, a publisher that we haven't used before, for example. Another reason I buy used is once my children get in 9th grade and older, whatever text we are reading that is either in literature or Christian studies, I buy 2 of, one for me and one for them. And it is going to be theirs to keep, like for them to start their own library. So the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Aeneid, Tale of Two Cities, you know, any of those, Benjamin Franklin's autobiography, all of those things that we read in high school, I buy the new copy for them because they'll have it their whole lives, and I buy the used copy for me. So, so there's a few times where I buy used. Now, when I do buy used, these are the places that I try and look for first. We have a local homeschool store, and they have an enormous used book section. Not just novels and the type, but curriculum as well. Huge curriculum section. So I always look there first. And the prices are usually half to 2/3 of the original price, which is very reasonable. Plus, since you're buying it in person, there's no pickup charge. There's no shipping charge, which is really nice. Other places, I am not on Facebook Marketplace. I'm not on Facebook at all. But I understand that Facebook Marketplace is just hopping in the homeschool world. So you might want to look there if you still have a Facebook account. eBay. I have not had great success on eBay. The shipping tends to, by the time you take the discounted price for it being used and you add in the shipping, it feels almost full price to me. So if I can get something new with free shipping or on sale, like when the publishers run their sales, I always buy them then. If I can't find something reasonable on eBay. So it really involves a lot of like shopping around. Craigslist is also a place to look. In the past, our local Craigslist has been great, but it's not recently. I'm not sure why, because this is a big homeschool area, but I guess it's just moved to other places. Facebook Marketplace, I think that kind of took that group of people and brought them over. So I feel like there is an online homeschool used book place. I feel like it's associated with Well Planned Gal. I just remember that off the top of my head. If that's not right, forgive me. But I'll look and see, and if it is, I'll put it in the link below. Other places to look. There are a few friends that I can exchange curriculum with, or books, or borrow books from, or they borrow from us. But I don't really know too many people that homeschool classically near me, so that's not been a great option for me. But another way that I buy cheaply, I just mentioned a minute ago, and that is when I know the publishers that I like are going to have their big sales. So I know exactly when Memoria Press's scheduled sales are each year. They do about a free shipping in February, and they also do it again in June, usually. Don't hold me to it, because, you know, they may change, especially with the economy like it is. Things are, you know, kind of upside down right now. I also know that BJU is going to offer 10 or 15% like in June, and they're going to offer that again in August, or I feel like it's May and August, but I write them on my calendar. So, and I have alarms set for the next year. So I know when those are. So if I can get 10 or 15% in free shipping, I'm going to do that every time and buy new. When it's almost a wash if I buy used and I can't find it at my local place. The other one, a good idea is to get yourself on several email lists from the publishers, and I mean, you know when the sales are going to be, and then just monitor them. Especially if you have things that you love that you know you're going to use the next level of. Absolutely, put yourself on the list. Rod and Staff, they have theirs is in April. It's usually not a lot. I feel like it's like 5 to 10%, but Rod and Staff is so cheap anyway. They're very reasonable, and it also has a really good resale value. So if you buy it new and resell it, it holds its value really well. And honestly, I think that's because it never changes. I mean, you know, I feel like the copyright in my grammar books is like in the 80s. But I mean, it doesn't change. Grammar doesn't change. So they don't update, and I feel like that's why it resells well, because you can. As opposed to BJU, which doesn't resell as well because they change so often. They update copyright so often, which is good, because if you're talking about, U.S. history or American government or biology, you want like the newest information possible. But with that comes, the challenge of trying to resell later as a homeschool parent. So if you have ideas, make sure you leave them below. I'd be so grateful, and so would every other homeschool mother that watches this video. And I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. I try and post videos about once a week-ish. Sometimes life just gets in the way, or I just don't have time, or, all the things. So I'd love for you to subscribe, and then it'll show up in your subscriptions when you come to YouTube and you click on that subscriptions. If I have new stuff, it'll be posted there. And I also try and use the comments in YouTube. I kind of use it like Facebook a little bit. Although I haven't been around much in the last week or two because our school just started and like things are nuts. They're just nuts here. But I hope to be back doing that, because I really like that comment section on YouTube, because I'm not on social media anywhere else. So that's kind of, what I use as social media. Okay, that's it. If you have suggestions, leave them below, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you.